Alright guys, today we're doing lesson 13. Yesterday we learned how to add and then we round it to check our work. Today we're going to subtract, but we're going to add our part and our difference to see if we can get our whole, and that's how we're going to check our work. So our learning target today is I can subtract using standard algorithm and check my work by adding. So before I can subtract, I need to make sure that what I'm subtracting from, I can. So I can subtract 1 from 1. Can I subtract 4 from 3? Well, no. If I have 3 cookies and I'm trying to take away 4, it's not possible. So that means I have to go next door. And I have to take one of the hundreds. So when I take 100 away, that turns into 3 hundredths. And then, if you remember, 10 tens makes 100. So you're adding 10 to this 3, which just is going to make 13. So we borrowed from the hundreds, and now it's 13. And then everything else we can subtract. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 13 minus 4. So just like yesterday when we did our touch math to add, I'm going to do my touch math to subtract. So 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. 3 minus 3 is 0, and 2 minus 0 is 2. So this would be 2090. Now what I mean by taking your part and your difference to get your whole, you're just going to take these two numbers and add them to see if you get your top number. So I'm going to rewrite it. 2090 plus 341. So let's see, 0 plus 1 is 1, 9 plus 4 is 13, 3 plus 0 is 3, plus 1 more is 4, and then 2. So now I'm going to look, okay, I need it to get 2,431. Did I get 2,431? Yes. So I'm going to put a check next to both of them because that means that I checked my work. Alright, let's move on to B. Remember, before you can subtract, you got to make sure that we're able to. So we can take 0 from 1, we can take 2 from 3, we can take 4 from 4, 2 from 2, but can we take 9 from 2? Well, no. If I only have 2 cookies and I want to take away 9 of them, that's not possible. So that means we're going to have to borrow from my hundred thousands place. When I do that, this 4 becomes a 3, and then this 2 will become a 12, because remember, it takes 10 10,000s to make 100,000, and we moved 100,000 over, so we're just adding 10 to that 2. Alright, now we're ready to subtract. So 1 minus 0 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, 4 minus 4 is 0, put your comma, 2 minus 2 is 0, 12 minus 9 is 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 3 minus 3 is 0. So our answer here is 30,011. Now remember, we're going to take our difference and our part, and we're going to add these together to see if we come out with our whole at the top. So I'm going to write 392,420 plus 30,011. And remember, when you add, you need to line up those digits. 0 plus 1 is 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, 4 plus 0 is 4, put your comma, 2 plus 0 is 2, 9 plus 3 is 12, carry your 1, and then 3 plus 1 is 4. So I needed to get 422,431, and that's exactly what I got. So I'm going to put a check near both. Alright, letter C. Again, before we subtract, we have to figure out, are we able to? We can take 0 from 0, we can take 0 from 3, we can take 3 from 4, we can take 2 from 2. Can we take 9 from 8? No. So that means we have to borrow from 100,000s. When we do that, our 9 becomes an 8, and then it takes 10 10,000s for 100,000s. So when you add 10 to 8, you get 18. So now we are able to subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Put your comma. 2 minus 2 is 0. 18 minus 9 is 9. And then 8 minus 0 is 8. So our answer is 890,130. To check this, we're going to take our difference and add it to our part. So I'm going to write 890,130 plus 92,300. And let's see if we get our whole, which is up here. We need to get 982,430. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. Put your comma. 0 plus 2 is 2. 9 plus 9 is 18. Carry your 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. So did we get the same answers? Yes, we did. So I'm going to put a check here. You could also put smiley faces like we did yesterday, guys. Alright, D. D is different because now our numbers are written horizontally. So we need to put them in standard algorithm form. Remember, with subtraction, your larger number always has to be on top. So 2,000 is larger than 900. So we are going to write 2,431 minus 920. Remember though, this 9 is in the hundreds place, which means it has to be lined up underneath the hundreds place in the 2,000 number. So we're going to put it underneath the 4. So 920. Alright, now let's see if we can subtract. We can take 0 from 1. We can take 2 from 3. Can we take 9 from 4? Well, no. So that means we have to borrow from our thousands. So our 2 becomes a 1. It takes 10 hundredths to make 1,000. So we're adding 10 to this 4. So 4 becomes 14. Now we can subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 14 minus 9 is 5. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 1 minus 0 is 1. So our answer is 1,511. But remember, we have to take our difference and our part to see if it's going to equal our whole. So we're going to add these two together. So 1,511 plus 920 equals 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 5 plus 9 is 14. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. So I need it to get 2,431. And I got 2,431. So you can put a check next to each, or you can put a smiley face. Alright, last one, letter E. Remember, we have it horizontal, so we want to make it into standard algorithm. Your larger number goes on top. So 892,000 is larger than 520,000. So we will start off with 892,431 minus 520,800. Before we subtract, we need to make sure that each digit can be subtracted. Can we take 0 from 1? Yes. Can we take 0 from 3? Yes. Can we take 8 from 4? No. So that means we have to borrow from our thousands place. This 2 becomes a 1. It takes 10 hundredths to make 1,000, so we're adding 10 to this 4. So the 4 becomes 14. Can we take 2 from 9? Yes. And can we take 5 from 8? Yes. So now we can subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. 14 minus 8 is 6. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1 minus 0 is 1. 9 minus 2 is 7. 8 minus 5 is 3. So we have 371,631. Sorry about my dog barking, guys. Alright, so now we need to check our work. Remember, we're going to take our difference and add it to our part and see if we can get our whole. So we're going to add these two together. So it would be 520,800 plus 371,631. 71,631. All right, we need to get 892,431. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 3 is 3. 8 plus 6 is 14. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. And 5 plus 3 is 8. So if your answers match up, then you can put a check or you can put a smiley face. Alright guys, for number 2, here's a word problem, and anytime you come to a word problem, you always want to do RDWW, which is read, draw, write your equation, and then write your statement. So it says, an elementary school collected 1,705 bottles for a recycling program. So already when I read, I see that the elementary school collected 1,705 bottles. A high school also collected some bottles. So there we have a high school and they collected some bottles, but it doesn't say how many. Both schools, so now we have both schools, collected 3,627 bottles. How many bottles did the high school collect? So anytime I have a question, I'm going to underline it 2 times to show that this is what I'm trying to solve for. Alright, so, okay, to show this, I'm going to draw out both because we know elementary, but we don't know high school. So both is going to be our whole. So I'm going to draw a box. And I'm going to put 3,627. And this is going to represent both schools. Then we know that elementary has 1,705. So underneath it, I'm going to draw elementary and put 1,705. And this is for elementary. So that means to solve for our high school, we're going to have to put a question mark, and this is going to equal our high school. So what do you think we're going to have to do now to solve for high school? If we have our whole, we have our part, we're going to have to solve for our other part, which means we're going to have to subtract. So we're going to take 3,627 minus 1,705. And then we need to check and make sure we can subtract from each. Can we take 5 from 7? Yes. Can we take 0 from 2? Yes. Can we take 7 from 6? No. So we're going to have to borrow from our thousands place. Our 3 becomes a 2. Our 6 becomes 16. So 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is equal to 9. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. So our answer is 1,922. Remember, you can check this by adding these two together. So 1,922 plus 1,705. 5 plus 2 is 7, 2 plus 0 is 1, 9 plus 7 is 16, and then 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, and we do get the same answer, so I know that's correct. So the last part, we read, we drew a picture, we wrote our number sentence, so now we have to write our statement. It says, how many bottles did the high school collect? So you would say, in a complete sentence, the high school collected 1,922. This is what you solve for, guys. You only use this to check your work. So collected 1,922 bottles. And that's your answer. And then we're going to stop there.